Hi, good evening, folks. In this video, a little recap of yesterday's game coming up. Okay, guys, it's been a busy stretch for me the last day, and I just really crashed out last night, and want to go over this. I'll do a brief recap of yesterday. Yes, it was a mess. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's just go over the numbers briefly. Boston shots 47-25. Face-off 69-31. No surprise Boston would come in and do this to us in the face-offs though. Penalty kill, we were 1 for 3 yesterday. We were 0 for 1 on the power play. Hits 27-18 Boston. Blocks 10-10. And giveaways, we had 8. They had 4. Now, the important stat I found in this game are these ones here. First period shots, 22-8 for Boston. Then we bounced back with a pretty decent second, 14-7. And then all Boston in the third, 18-3. And as we've seen, frustration set in with Jurgensen's. Look, we could say a lot about that, whatever it is. It's the wheels are falling off at this point, as we can all tell. So how do we get out of this? How do we snap out of this? And how do we salvage coming back from something like this? Because let's face it, guys, we haven't in a long time come back from a slump like this. We usually crash and burn the rest of the season. I still don't see it happening yet. I always say yet when it comes to the Sabres, but I don't know. It feels like they can come out of this and then be right back to 500 again still with a few good games, of course. Now that this schedule is nearing its end, this November schedule, which was just tough. But, look, since the quick start, we've had some other things we have to look at, other things we have to discuss. And it's obvious right now that we're being pushed around. I mean, this is what I'm taking from these games, guys, and I want to play old hat with this again, but I see a team that you can hit them off the puck. You can basically have your will with them if you play tough enough against them. And that's being exposed now. And yes, we can look at the goaltending too, of course. But when you keep letting in point-blank chances night after night after night, what's going to happen eventually, folks? Really, do we really expect to believe that our goaltending is going to, we're going to get away with like these signings of goalies this year and be able to expose them also? Of course not. It doesn't make sense. The only guy that could save us right now would be Dominic Hasek. Really, it's the only guy that could save us in nets right now. The amount of chances that we're letting in point blank, and I'm talking from me to the camera, that close, night after night after night, and say I'm about 6 feet from the camera, 5-6 feet. I mean, these chances are night after night. And you guys see it. You see the chances that we turn over in our zone. And this is an issue too. I don't want to just look at goaltending because that lets everybody else off the hook here. I don't want to do that, no. Yeah, I get Dell's hasn't played well, and I get Tokarski has looked more than human since his night in Pittsburgh. But what about what else is going on? What about how teams can just bully us off the puck when they choose to? How about a no reply? I mean, let's face it. Somebody goes out and hurts one of our top guys. Who's going to stand up for us? Really? Who's the guy that's going to say, okay, I'm going to deal with this guy later? Like, who's that guy? Really, who? There is nobody. And these are the things that are coming into play now. The obvious factors of why this hockey club is being exposed. I find we're being exposed more than beaten, folks. Maybe call me being a little harsh. I don't know. I find that we're being exposed for our glaring weaknesses on this team that haven't been addressed, haven't been close to being addressed. And word gets around. Word gets around through a text message, a phone call. You're phoning a friend that plays on another team and you guys are talking. Oh, God, you guys are playing the Sabres. Here's what you do. You make sure when you're in the corner, you just come full steam at them and they're just going to like panic and pass the puck and things like this. So this is what's going on, I find, with the team right now, is that we can't hide these weaknesses anymore. Yes, our offensive capability, Granato's done way better as a coach. He's done a lot of good things with this team. He really has. I'm not going to pretend that the skid we're on doesn't show that, you know, there's been a huge improvement in this team, no doubt. But right now, we're as beatable as ever again because we haven't addressed things, not everything. And the thing is, to address a thing like this doesn't cost millions and millions of cap space either. It's just a good call. You go and you get 3 grinders on your team and a tough guy. And all of a sudden, the dimension of your team changes. So I'm hoping they look at this, folks. Really, guys, I've had it with the soft play. So, I mean, Boston, the truth is, didn't even have to play that tough. They didn't have to play that rough and tough to beat us, really. They pretty much had their passing lanes open for them. Again, like you know, last time we played them, I thought we were more in that game than we were last night. That's for sure. Last night, the Sabres were just plain bad. And to get out of this, I don't hear anybody, unless I'm missing it, I don't hear anybody in the organization crying to the fact that we just aren't tough enough. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it. And if we're going to pretend that this is an element of the game that's not important, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to just have to be fans and root them on. I'm rooting them on to the end of the year. I don't care. I mean, if it comes down to late in the year, we have to lose the last 2 games to have the best chances in the lottery. Of course, then I'll hope that they tank it out for 2 games or something. But something like this early in the season, I want to have a fun season. I want to be able to watch this team. I want to be able to just enjoy, you know, a work ethic that I'm proud of. And you know, and I don't see it now. I don't see it now. Because the thing is, they're losing their guts. You start being exposed, you start getting more scared. I don't believe it's a losing culture setting in, just in case, you know, I don't believe that's what's happening. But I think what's going on is that we're being exposed for areas we did not address in the offseason. We should have paid Reeves $1 million more and got him on our team for a few years. Really, they're just for starters. That's one thing I would have been it's a no-brainer that you know, I complained about this last year in my videos. They've got to get tougher. And I hope they start addressing that. I hope they start looking at it. Of course, I get that raw talent wins Stanley Cups, but you have to protect the raw talent. If the raw talent feels vulnerable, the raw talent isn't playing up to their capability night after night. They're just not, because they're looking over their shoulder each time. You got to have a team that's at least feared somewhat. And we're in an era now in hockey where it's a fast-paced era, but there's always room for grit. There's always room for grit. So I'm hoping the Sabres look at this. I'm hoping. What I hate is when I see interviews now, and I'm starting to get angry at hearing the same crap over and over. It's like, address it. Address it. We're not stupid fans. Buffalo fans aren't dumb. They know this is a glaring weakness. Like, come on. Don't pretend that we are okay. And, you know, we're developing the kids right. We're doing a lot of things right, but we're not looking out. I mean, what happens if, you know, when is Tuck going to have to be the guy? That's, you know, we need him also to be out there making plays, not just being the tough guy. We need to have some enforcers on this team. And I'm hoping that's the next thing they look at, or, you know. Anyway, I'm going to do a video soon, guys, on these ideas, because right now this is where my head's at with the team. It was frustrating to watch yesterday. It was, you know. I hate to see the boys look so bad. Just look so bad and so uninterested at certain points and so confused. Really, I shouldn't say uninterested. More confused. They look confused, not sure what the answer is to this. That's where we're at now. And hopefully, you know, we snap out of it, because we got a few games against teams that aren't killing it this year. Montreal's back in town, so I'm hoping they win that one, but we'll see. We'll see next game. All right, guys, I got to do a few things, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.